Upstairs to our ring announcement, Desmond Sono.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Nasrec in South Africa, where Jumbo Cash and Carry, the big one, and Mnet Supersport, conjunction with Golden Gloves Promotion, present this evening tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, let's buckle up as we're about to take off. The next bout of the evening is a cashweight, international cashweight, and let's welcome into the ring, Jan Bergman. Jan Bergman. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Panama, let's welcome Tito Mendoza. Ladies and gentlemen, this catchweight bout is scheduled for 10 rounds. Official for this bout, your referee, Mr. Manny Smith. Your judges, Joe Horn, Len Hunt, and Joe Chaney. Introducing your boxers, starting first fighting out of the red corner in 64.40 kilograms with 33 fights, 32 wins, 1 loss. Let's welcome Jan Kit Gavilan Bergman. And fighting out of the blue corner in yellow and black trunks, weighing at 84.10 kilograms with 10 fights, 9 wins, 1 loss. Let's welcome Tito Mendoza.
Boxers. Cherry. Okay, gentlemen, I've given you your instructions. Shake hands and come back fighting. Good luck to both of you.
This should be an interesting outing for Bergman in particular against Mendoza, as you see in his corner, ready to come out of that blue corner. Bergman just lost the IBF title championship to Konstantin Zul. It was a fight that he primed himself well, but went down in the 6th round. And that could be playing in his mind as he gets ready to meet Mendoza. Again, you heard our ring announcer, Desmond Sono, indicating it's scheduled for 10. And this is round 1. Both fighters will be from the traditional right side. Bergman with an excellent reach advantage here over Mendoza. Slaps out the left jab, and Mendoza will try to stay out of harm's way of that, as you see the quickness of Bergman early. Bergman had raced off to 32 consecutive victories, 24 by knockout, before he ran into Zhu. That fight held in September of last year. He has not fought since and has spent a lot of time on the gyms, just basically trying to get his mind set to get back to where he wants to be, a title at a world title. Mendoza, always one of those fighters coming out of Panama, who is the Panamanian champion since December of '95 when he won a TKO championship there over Caros. Even though he has only 10 professional fights, he's a guy that still possesses a pretty good knockout punch, with 8 of his 9 wins coming via the knockout. Mendoza doing a good job of stepping away from the quickness of Bergman early on. Mendoza on the attack early. Bergman hoping to counter if he gets cornered on the ropes. Was able to step away. Mendoza slapping a couple of punches in. Bergman able to walk away from him. Good digging left hand to the body that time by Bergman. Mendoza walked through it. Only lost by Mendoza on his card came in June of '96. He lost the IBF Intercontinental Championship to Jose Cordoba. He himself was knocked out in the 5th round. Mendoza, those 8 knockouts, 5, by the way, have come in the 1st round. May not get that tonight over Bergman, but you see certainly is the aggressor here in the first round. Good attack that time by Bergman. Rather good counter by Mendoza, but Bergman got the best of that exchange. Bergman, a native South African from Carltonville, South Africa. 64-4, 142 pounds, 64-1, 141 pounds tonight for Mendoza. As we close in on the last half minute of round one. Rather wild exchanges by both boxers. You probably could count those on one hand, the number of punches that landed. Most of those off the shoulders. Bergman's trying to use some interesting angles, and Mendoza's just coming straight up the middle on him. Mendoza will not be a hard fighter to find. He'll be right in his face all day. As we near the end of round one of a scheduled 10-rounder, junior welterweights. Two young fighters getting ready to battle each other. Mendoza in the gold from Panama, only 20 years of age. Bergman at 27. And again, Mendoza on our unofficial card, winning round number one. He was the aggressor. Bergman had to counter. And it appears they go into the same posture to start round two. Winging left and rights by Bergman fall on nothing but thin air. But he is certainly challenging Bergman. Bergman countering with a good uppercut with the left hand that time, but not a lot of damage. Bergman won the IBF Intercontinental Championship in June of 1993. It was a tough one, went 10 rounds, finally TKO'd Viktor Borgunov for that title. 2 title defenses. Most recent one came in August of 95 in Vegas when he defeated Ray Collins in a tough 12 rounds. He sustained a bad cut over the left eye and also injured his hand. He had to sit out quite a while before getting himself back in a boxing condition, and again losing in the last opportunity to win the IBF title again to Konstantin Tszyu. Mendoza still challenging Bergman early on. Nearing the halfway point of round two, scheduled for 10. Warning by referee Smith to keep the punches up by Bergman. Bergman wanting to touch gloves. Mendoza doesn't quite understand what's going on. Finally does. He just wants to fight. Good exchange again as Bergman trying to counter here. Good over the hand right hand, just missed on Mendoza. But he's starting to find the range a little better off the counter. And Mendoza, for the first time in the fight, is starting to back up a bit. Bergman attacking behind that good left jab. Good right hand, missed again. A minute to go in round two. Bergman the short of the two fighters. Mendoza's a towering 6'3" for this junior welterweight weight. Bergman again back on his heels. Bergman was clawing and kind of pawing in his face that time, and he heard the referee Smith. Watch the elbows from our Mendoza, as Mendoza has been throwing the punches and following through right with the elbows as well. But Bergman has been able to counter, but again, he possibly got clipped a bit and thought there might be some blood, but there wasn't. Mendoza still backing up now as Bergman starting to take a little control here in the second round. This definitely has been his round. That white canvas glistening under the feet of these two junior welterweights on our World Championship boxing night from Johannesburg.
Has this ever happened to you? What a mess. This shirt and blouse have had it. Or have they? Now there's a simple way to deal with the most difficult stains. DD7, a super concentrated formula that removes stains but won't harm fabrics. Now where's the ink? Delicate silk? Incredibly clean. Tar, iodine, blood, rust. DD7 gets rid of them all. Dull gray window shears restored to like-new whiteness thanks to a soak in DD7. Imagine this is your washing machine. Dye from a red sock, ink, iodine, a little DD7, and goodbye to unwanted stains. Order DD7 today for just $14.95, or we'll double your order for only $5 more. That's 2 tubes for only $19.95. Have your credit card ready and order now.
Use your credit card and call toll-free 1-800-761-3131. Or send $14.95 for 1 tube or $19.95 for 2 tubes, plus shipping to DD7, P.O. Box 7129, Department 458, Buffalo, New York.
Round 3 with Mendoza, Panama on the goal. Bergman in the white out of South Africa. An even fight on our unofficial cards. Mendoza winning the first round. Bergman coming back with a solid second round, even though he started out trying to counter again, as he does here in round 3. Mendoza has been encouraged, and there is a cut on the outside of that right eye. So Bergman does have a cut that's now oozing some blood, but he lands some good punches and comes after Mendoza. Good uppercut, left hand, backs up Mendoza again. Mendoza trying to gather himself here after he got caught with a good left-right combination by Bergman. Jan in on top of the Panamanian. Panamanian in using those elbows to try to contain Bergman. Jan, who had tried some angles on the first couple of rounds, is now just coming right up the middle. There you see him again, winging right hand. Trainers encouraging to step in just another half a step, and you're going to land that. Excellent jabbing by Bergman. Upstairs, downstairs. Got the Panamanian guessing right now with 1:50 to go in the third round. Mendoza, you can see the aggressiveness after that one good combination from Bergman. Now is himself back on his heels, and Bergman has taken charge here in the third. A little trickle of blood down that right side of the eye. Doesn't seem to be worsening here in the third round for Bergman. Mendoza trying to wade through a couple of punches by Bergman. I think he got in without much damage. Bergman, you see him throwing that wild left hand off balance. Didn't do any damage, and now Mendoza starts to wing some punches. Mendoza a little selective with the right hand right now, letting Bergman just kind of walk in with that left jab. And he does it again as he backs him to the ropes. Under a minute to go in the third. Manny Smith, who's now becoming a little more active in this fight, the third man in the ring. You can hear the corner of Bergman saying jab, 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 and that's what he's got to do. It set up that great combination early on, and now he comes back with another pretty good left-right combination that backed Mendoza up for a moment. Half a minute to go in the third. Bergman, you can see, gaining confidence virtually with every punch. Even those that miss, he realizes he's starting to get closer and closer to Mendoza. And now the crowd starts to back up, as now Bergman is indicating that he got headbutted, and the referee Smith warning Mendoza. No damage, hopefully, on Bergman. At least we don't see any right now. Closing seconds of the third. non-title fight here in South Africa. Again at the National Sports and Recreation Exhibition Center in Johannesburg. Jan Bergman in the white with his back to you from Carltonville, South Africa. And from Veracruz in Panama, Tito Mendoza in the goal. This is round 4. They're set to go 10. Bergman, the South African champion, won that title in April of '93. Aaron Colby was the man that he defeated in 12 solid rounds. Came back and won in a rematch against him for the same South African title in March of '94. And again, they went 12 rounds, again won by Bergman. Bergman admits that's been one of the toughest fights, outside, of course, the one he just lost to Zhu, that he's had in all of his 33 previous fights. Mendoza starting to stalk a little bit more here in the 4th round. Bergman being a little more cautious in this round for some reason. See him trying to walk in a little bit. Mendoza just kind of clubbing some shots in there. Bergman's got such good foot speed. He can step away from a punch in a flash. You see him there. He did get clacked with a pretty good left hand on the way out. Was able to avoid harm's way for the most part. Nearing the midway point of round 4.
Step back, step back. Stop holding.
Good right hand by Bergman. You see how well he does that. Straight up the middle with a couple of left jabs, and then wings the right hand. Mendoza starts to drop the hand and gets caught with it. The left hand, however, was the big punch in the 3rd round that Bergman really scored well on. One minute to go in round 4. Good competitive fight. Jan Bergman and Mendoza. Bergman, who had won rounds 2 and 3 unofficial in our cards, slows down a bit in the 4th. He's starting to come on. Maybe he'll be able to steal it back. Mendoza has not done much more. This is almost a draw round. Bergman still slipping some punches. Another one. This may win the round for him here on the judges' card. Under a half a minute. Mendoza's done very little in this round. For the most part, about halfway through it, Bergman had done little as well. Mendoza knocked out. Is it a knockdown? It is. It's ruled a knockdown by the referee Smith. He got caught with a shot in the breadbasket and went down. He staggers to his feet. Monty Smith making the call. Does he get his gloves up? No, he quits. Jan Bergman wins it in a knockout here in the 4th round, a TKO officially, as again Mendoza refused to continue, and he was out by the referee Smith. So Bergman, it'll be interesting to look at the replays, because first of all, the left jab set up everything. How hard was the right and the left to the breadbasket? Apparently they were very good. Let's look at them. There's that winging left hand. Mendoza feeling confident, comes in. It was a left hand that just clipped him on the jaw. He had hit to the midsection early on before Mendoza came in, and you see Tito looking to the corner. He has had all he wants of this one in South Africa. Again, he was up all right at the count of 7. And then when he was asked to take his gloves up and defend himself, he refused to do so. And the referee Smith stops the fight in the 4th round as Bergman comes back after that long absence out of the ring since September of last year, when he was knocked out in the 6th round in a title fight by Zhu. Comes back with a knockout in the 4th round, something he sorely needed here in this fight tonight. He moves his record now to 33-1, and now gets his 25th knockout. Here's the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, official time, 2 minutes, 59 seconds of the 4th round. The winner by knockout, Jan Kit Gavilen Bergman.
So Bergman winning by a knockout. 2:59 of the round. I kind of go, I'm not sure that timing was exactly right, because that round had not gone to its duration. But nonetheless, he does get the TKO with, again, Mendoza refusing to continue after he beat the count at 7. But Bergman showed, first of all, he was able to counter early on in the 1st round. He lost the 1st round on our unofficial cards, came back in the 2nd and 3rd using that same kind of counteracting that he did early on, and won very well. And again, the winner, Jan Bergman, coming up as he officially gets it from the referee Smith and picks up his 33rd win of his campaign. He showed two things here tonight. He continues with his great foot speed. He continues also with the punching speed. You saw that great left hand as Mendoza went down. And obviously Bergman hopefully